I'm Marat from EMMOTION, HR professional, career strategist and coach. And today I have put together a video which contains the most frequent job interview questions and answers, including the examples of how to answer each of the questions. It will serve you as a proper guide in your job interview preparation.
Tell me about yourself. Tell me about yourself question can also be rephrased as please present yourself, describe yourself and your background. Prepare and structure a small script to come up with a professional answer which showcases you being a real asset to this position and company. Think of the strength you would like the interviewer to remember about you once you leave. The easiest way to put together your answer effectively is going step by step through your present profile overview, your past education experiences and achievements, your future plans and motivations. Resuming shortly, present, past and future, all relevant to the job description and to what this interview is about. Avoid giving out personal information which is unrelated to your professional performance. Follow your script. Your first sentence should be an introduction to who you are professionally. Then an overview statement that shows off your background and gives a little sense of your personality too. Here are some examples. I'm an innovative HR professional with 10 years of experience managing HR processes, strongly specialized in recruitment and talent management for international brands, including one of the biggest retail players in the world. One of my favorite functional areas are training and development projects. I managed to create training programs from the scratch to teach the leadership team how to coach with a growth mindset. Notice that the first line sums up the experience and drops a high-profile employer's name. Most hiring managers assume that if you made it through the hiring process at other well-known companies, you must be very good. Next, mention your strengths and abilities, proven past success. Don't assume that the interviewer has closely read your resume and knows your qualifications. Briefly highlight a few points from the past that make you stand out. I've been in retail industry during 8 years. One reason I particularly enjoy HR and the challenges that go along with it is the opportunity to connect with people. In my last job, I formed solid internal client relationships, resulting in a 25% decrease of the turnover in just a few months. Conclude with your motivations and strengths. Why are you here and why do you want this position? Concise and positive. Although I love my current role, I feel I'm now ready for a more challenging assignment. I'm a certified senior HR professional and I have an extensive negotiation experience, which would be very useful in this position while working with suppliers. Here's an example if you haven't had a professional experience yet. I am currently a student at the University of Barcelona, where I'm very active at the Student Council. As a representative for my class, I've organized a few fundraising events. I'm a motivated worker and fast learner. My real strength is my attention to detail. I pride myself for meeting deadlines. When I commit to doing something, I make sure it gets done on time. During volunteering at the local gift shop, I realized how much I enjoy customer service and the retail world in general. I think this position is a great fit and I'm excited about this opportunity. Let's practice another full example. I'm a technical project manager with more than 6 years of experience at top Wall Street companies. Most recently, I led the development for an award-winning new software. I'm a person who thrives in a fast-paced environment. So right now I'm looking for an opportunity to apply my technical experience and my creative problem-solving skills at the innovative database management company like yours. Clear and concise. Remember, you will have time later to walk through your resume in detail and fill in any gaps. Don't try to squeeze in too much information, or your interviewer will tune out. A good interview is a dialogue and not a monologue. Keep it short and give your interviewer a chance to ask questions. A big error by many candidates is a recitation of their resume from the beginning. That can easily turn into a long monologue, which will only confuse your interviewer with information overload. Be sure to practice over and over again until it's perfect and you manage to answer with confidence. Be interested and brief. You want to capture the interviewer's attention by highlighting the most appealing aspects of yourself.
Why do you want to work here? Question can also be rephrased as, why are you interested in this job and in this company? This is a perfect question to give you an advantage over the less prepared candidates. As a hiring manager, I always look for the fit with the company culture, someone who is motivated and who would enjoy the job. These are the answers you should not give. I need the money. I hate my job. I am bored. It looks like a cool place to work. You need to build the foundation for your answers by doing a previous research and demonstrating your interest in the company and in the job. Present yourself as a job seeker who understands their own priorities and preferences. Which aspects of the position and the company are appealing to you and why? Here are the steps how to do it. Analyze the job description. What are they looking for? How do you match or exceed those requirements? Write down your matching skills for each requirement. Demonstrate your value. Get to know the company. Research the company and learn more about them. Get to know the company's culture, their goals, their products. It will make it easier to talk about your fit and how you feel identified with them. Research the interviewers. You should know the name and the job title of the person or even people who will be interviewing you. It's good to Google them. Check out their LinkedIn profiles to learn more about them. Understanding their profiles will help you to connect better with them during the interview. Perhaps you share points in common, interests, or even contacts. Even though the question is about why you want to work there, you need to convince the interviewer that hiring you will benefit the company. Here are 3 sample examples which will fit with your interview and your situation. Example number 1. Your company's reputation is definitely an important factor. I would be proud to work for a company with such an impressive growth story. I have also used your products for many years and always been very impressed with the innovations and consistent concern for helping your customers to learn how to use them effectively. You are also known for making a commitment to bettering the community. I would love the opportunity to use my 10 years of experience in advertising and marketing to better this community with you. Number 2. Generic, just change sales to your area. I admire your company's flexibility in adapting to different clients and markets. When I read the job description for the role, one of the things that particularly appealed to me was that it has a strong focus on international sales and expansion, which is perfectly suited to my strength. Having worked in the international sales for different markets during past 5 years, I know I can help this company to achieve its goals. I always met or exceeded my targets. Last year, for example, I led my team to exceed our sales projections by 25%, and this was during a very difficult market time. I have been looking for a job in a successful organization, and needless to say, I'm very excited when I saw you were hiring for this role. Number 3. Completely generic. I'm impressed by your company's constant investments in sustainability. I feel that it's extremely important for making a positive impact on the environment, and I feel completely identified with it. I also understand that you seek an individual with outstanding leadership skills. I have extensive experience building and leading teams to success, and I truly enjoy helping people work hard and achieve their goals. I also have strong communication abilities. I noticed that your company values individuals who are able to effectively communicate unique and creative ideas. I'm interested in bringing my ideas and expertise to this company to help and lead projects. I will help the team to meet its goals quicker and with higher quality.
Why should we hire you? Each company's intention is to hire the best person for the position. The interviewer is usually a person who knows what the real needs of the company are. Your reply is an opportunity to really sell yourself as an ideal candidate, because this is what the recruiter actually expects from you. Thinking through your response to this one question will also help you to reply to all the other interview questions too. Here are the steps to prepare a winning response. Step 1. Research and brainstorm. Research the company. Find out about its current mission, goals, and problems. Study the job description. What key qualifications and contributions is the employer looking for in this person? In which of these areas do you really stand out? Step 2. Highlights and bullet points. Don't write a script to memorize. Just capture 3-4 highlighted bullet points of why you are an excellent fit, and a few examples to back it up. Keep your answer short and concise, less than a minute, so you won't be highlighting every skill and accomplishment on your resume. Concentrate on what sets you apart from the competition. Step 3. Practice. A great way of practicing would be recording your answer, so maybe you and a few trusted people could evaluate its impact. Work with your response until it effectively showcases your unique qualifications for the position. Once you feel good about the points you make, practice. Again, don't memorize the script. It might make you more nervous and add more pressure about remembering a specific wording. Step 4. Enthusiasm. Experience and qualifications are important, but the right attitude can place you above many candidates with similar professional backgrounds. Let's go through some examples. When I read the job posting, I noticed that you specifically mentioned you were looking for someone with project management experience. As you can check, I have over 10 years of experience as a project manager. What really sets me apart from other candidates and will make me a valuable addition to your team is my ability to combine project management with my people skills. I value lasting relationships and actively seek to build those with developers, vendors, and senior managers alike. I enjoy interacting with customers and know that a happy customer is a repeat customer. My passion for the industry and for the job I do makes me deliver 100% every day. Example of a response with no professional experience. The reason that I applied for this position is because the qualifications matched my strength perfectly. I'm good at managing multiple tasks and I'm very detail-oriented. I organize my time efficiently. Yes, many people have these qualities, but if I were in your position, I would hire myself because of the passion I have for this industry and my optimistic personality. My education, background, and strength show that I can do this job. I would like to make more of an impact than just doing my job, to do what it takes to improve the company.
Where do you see yourself 5 years from now? I don't particularly like this question because 5 years nowadays is such a long time and everything happens so quickly. However, I'll briefly explain how to come up with an ideal for your response and give you a few clear examples to use. Why is this question tricky? The ultimate goal of any good hiring manager is not looking for just anyone, but for an ideal candidate. This question will easily filter out the ones who are not meant for this role or company. Keep in mind that you don't just answer this question, you do it in a way so your answer is in line with company's long-term goals and values. You've already shown interest for the position by applying and being now interviewed for it. This question is meant to find out how much you really desire the position. Quick tips before proceeding to examples. Be enthusiastic. No employer wants to hire someone, invest time and money in them if they are planning to leave soon. The hiring manager is looking for a professional who is genuinely enthusiastic about this position. Generic but realistic with replies. Keep your answers tailored to the position and as realistic as you can. Job interviews are all about specific and real-life examples. This question is hypothetical, so being generic can work here, but not for any other questions. Be informed about the role. Look at the role and think how you might grow and develop within it. It's a big plus to study the department you are applying, its structure and usual career moves for those who work there. If you can't find this information, this would be an excellent question to ask during the interview. Divide your answer in two parts to simplify. The first part should focus on how excited you are about the current position. The second part is about your future plans and your long-term projection within the company. Here come a few examples for you to use. From the moment I read the job description for this position, I was really excited about the company's role in the retail industry, and for this reason, I am thrilled about the possibility of working with you on a long term. Within 5 years, I would like to be recognized as an expert in product knowledge, have developed very close relationships with clients, have expanded the client base in my region, and perhaps have been assigned some major international clients. In part 1, you show that you are dedicated to the position and ambitious. In part 2, you would like to grow within the company and achieve your professional goals. I'm glad you asked. One of the reasons that I applied to this role is because of your company's reputation in helping and contributing to employees' career growth. Long-term commitment from an employer is important to me because it creates a sense of belonging. I'm driven to achieve both mine and company's goals, and I'm sure that this stability will allow me to do so and grow within this role. In 5 years, I see myself growing into a supervisor or manager where I'll be able to use my skills to support and influence others. Well, I'm really excited by this position at your company because in 5 years I'd like to be seen as someone with deep expertise in the energy sector. I know I'll have this opportunity thanks for this role. I'm also really excited to take on more managerial responsibilities in the next few years and potentially even lead projects. I've been lucky enough to work with some amazing managers, so developing into a great manager myself is something I'm really excited about. The interviewer wants to hear what you plan to do with the job you're applying for right now. Your answers should reflect motivation and realistic growth. You need to reassure the hiring manager that you are a perfect candidate for the role and a great investment for the company's future. What are your greatest strengths? Question. I'm also sharing with you 3 adaptable examples which could serve you as an inspiration while putting up together your own response. What are your strengths is a classic interview question. It seems simple, but it isn't. It requires a balance between not appearing too humble and underselling your achievements and skills, and in between selling yourself too much, coming across arrogant and self-interested. This is a main reason why most candidates don't answer well. So let's prepare this question properly and turn it into a great advantage. What are your biggest strengths? Question can also be asked in other similar ways. What are you good at and how would you apply that to this role? What do you feel sets you apart from the competition? What would your colleagues say you bring to a team? What accomplishments are you most proud of, etc. The interviewer wants to know how would your strength translate to the job you've applied for. It's your moment to demonstrate this connection and reassure them in being a strong candidate. Important checklist before we proceed to full examples. Analyze yourself and be honest with your answer. Choose strengths that you actually possess. Knowing your strength will serve you well in job interviews and in the rest of your life too. Keep it to a couple of strengths so it will make your preparation easier. It's about your strength and not the achievements. Make sure you separate them. Make your answers relevant to the role. Take a close look at the job description. Figure out what the job requires and what is important to the company. The idea is being honest and giving the company what they respond best to. Demonstrate your ability to settle into the job faster and perform better than other candidates. Don't raise any red flags. Saying that your greatest strength is the ability to show up on time, for example, wouldn't do you any favors. Prepare specific and detailed examples. Giving a detailed example makes your answer powerful. Don't wait for the interviewer to ask you to elaborate on your strength. Many times they won't. Talk about how you use this strength to achieve a specific result. Be prepared for the follow-up questions. For example, when did you use this strength in your previous role? Here are a few examples, some of which can be easily adapted to your profile.
I feel I'm really customer-oriented. I'm good in interacting with people and helping them solve their doubts or problems, whether it's in person, on the phone, via email or online messaging. I've been an online customer service manager for over 2 years and I enjoy dealing with people around the world. My employer has high standards for customer satisfaction. My team and I have been trained to diffuse angry customers so they can be helped and even be satisfied with our services. We are measured on how satisfied people are after they've spoken to us and if they purchase additional products or services as a result of our interactions. I am proud to say that my team and I are among the leaders within the company. I pride myself on my leadership and my team management skills. My leadership skills had always come natural. I managed to develop them through supervising junior team members with the guidance of my former manager. Leadership is necessary to keep projects team moving in the right direction. Finishing projects on time, on budget, and meeting both technical and business requirements took substantial planning and management skills, especially when half of the team members didn't directly report to me. I've been an IT project manager for over 4 years, managing 9 major projects at this time frame. All those projects are completed on schedule and were considered successes. I also trained 4 team members, so they were promoted to project management positions. My greatest strength is my diplomacy. I had never thought of this as a strength until my managers pointed it out to me. Once they did, I realized it's a skill I can use to benefit everyone involved on the job. Recently, I helped to resolve a situation which was about to go very badly. We had a client make so many demands which seemed unreasonable to our team that we were about to finish our collaboration. Our team and the client were feeling despair over this situation. Through face-to-face meetings that I arranged with all 20 people involved, we were able to re-establish a good relationship and get the project back on track. I was awarded an Employee of the Year award for my efforts to delay the firing and for saving this collaboration. I have a very strong communication skills. Whether it's over the phone, in person, or written, I tend to express myself in a clear and concise manner. I received several positive feedbacks from my manager for solving difficult situations with my communication skills, and I even got an acknowledgement in the company newsletter for just being really good at talking to clients. I think this strength will help me to do well on the job, since being a receptionist requires interfacing with individuals from different backgrounds. I'll be able to make each person feel welcome and that their business is valued.
Keep it short and to the point. Practice a couple of times before the interview to make a stronger impact and to answer with confidence. What are your greatest weaknesses? I personally prefer rephrasing it to what are your development areas? It can also be asked in other similar ways. What would your manager or colleagues describe as your biggest weakness? Which tasks or duties do you struggle with the most? Which difficulties and issues have arisen in your current role? Is there any of your skill set that you feel still needs work? From my experience as a recruiter, I tend to ask this question to candidates which make a big and noticeable effort in selling themselves during the interview, sometimes without realizing it. For many hiring managers, it is interesting to hear candidates analyzing their development areas, to hear how reflective they are about their skill set. This question can trip a lot of people up, because no one wants to talk about the less impressive part of their skills or personality. However, never say you don't have any development areas. I've had candidates saying this to me during interviews, and the impact is exactly the same as saying that you don't have any ability to learn and to grow. Important checklist before we proceed to full examples. Analyze your development areas. It should be a weakness related to your professional competencies and skills. Answers like, I don't do enough exercise, or I don't speak a certain language well, sound like you are trying to avoid the question. Don't try to disguise a strength as a weakness. I work too hard, or I am a perfectionist. These are ridiculous because as a recruiter you hear them every day. The hiring manager will see you through and might label you as someone dishonest. Be honest, but don't raise any red flags. Giving an honest answer is important. If you make something up, you might not be able to handle the follow-up questions. Pick a weakness acceptable for the role. Don't say you are awful with numbers if you are applying for an accounting job, for example. Explain the measures you took to correct this skill. The first part of your answer should reflect that you detected this weakness. The second part is how you have actively been working on it. The weakness needs to be something that you can improve through a personal effort. Here are a few examples, some of which can be easily adapted to your profile. Example for a position dealing with numbers and data. I never had much experience working directly with clients. That's why my client-facing communication skills definitely need some work. I'm much more comfortable digging into the data and providing the analysis rather than talking about it with a client. I realized that the experience of working with clients directly would be a big help to the way that I present my analysis, so I used every chance to take an opportunity and talk to a client, and I will continue to improve this area of expertise. Example which is more generic. At the beginning of my career, I was overwhelmed with the level and amount of work expected from me. Projects came all at the same time, and I didn't schedule and plan each of the stages properly. Eventually, this made me overlook certain mistakes, which I detected further on. Since then, I attended a number of time management seminars, and I have found my workload much more manageable. Each time I'm more productive and detailed, and I continue to work on it. Example which could be a case for many. Public speaking is an area which I should still work on. When I started college, it was a real problem. I was just terrified of doing it and I ended up ruining my speeches a few times. I decided to take a small step of promising myself that I would speak up in front of small groups, for example in a class. Then I worked up to taking a public speaking class, which made a big difference. Now, even though I get nervous, I feel like it is something that doesn't hold me back. Recently, I gave a speech at a conference. I was still shaking during my speech, but it went great and I received a really good feedback in the end. I plan on continue to seek out opportunities to improve in this area. Example on being too direct. Sometimes I can be a little too honest when I provide feedback to coworkers. My personality is naturally straightforward and my colleagues really value that. However, I learned that there are times on the job when more diplomacy is required. I took a training class on how to communicate with power, and it really opened my eyes to the need of communicating differently with different people. So now I am much better at providing constructive and inspiring feedback, even though it doesn't always come naturally. Keep it short and to the point. Practice a couple of times to make a stronger impact and to answer with confidence. Go get that job you want. For more information on professional and personal development, subscribe to my channel.